Just kind of give you guys a little bit of a recap what's going on with our program this past week and over the last couple of days. Had an extremely exciting match yesterday in varsity gym. We're able to send 6 seniors off, 6 seniors that have been a monumental part of this program, the program's growth over the last couple of years. And we were able to do it in grand fashion, winning a 43-0 shutout yesterday over VMI. And, just can't say enough great things about the way the guys wrestled yesterday. They just continue to go out week in, week out, and are doing a great job of being consistent in their preparation. And, I just kind of came to my attention yesterday that that's the 4th shutout this team's had this year with a 9-3 record. So with, 12 dual meets this year, having 4 shutouts or, a third of those matches, that's pretty remarkable feat, and I think it says a lot. It's a testament to the kind of guys that we have on our team. It's just hard in Division I wrestling. When you're wrestling Division I teams, it's hard to win all 10 bouts, and you have to have really consistent across the board performances. And for us to do it 4 times this year, it's just a great testament to the kind of guys we've had. And in each of those duels, we had matches that were on paper we were supposed to lose. Had to beat some nationally ranked opponents to get the shutout. So, I just want to kind of mention that this morning, and kind of say that that's one of the things that I'm really proud of this team. Looking at some of the statistics and some things that have been brought to my attention. This might be the first time in my career I've had a team that all 10 of our starters have winning records, and I think that's something that's it speaks to the balance of our team. This is the most balanced team I've ever coached. I mean, we don't have one weight class that I would say that's weak. I mean, every weight class we put a solid wrestler out on the mat and a good product, and I think that's one of the things that we would like to continue doing moving forward is putting a lineup out there that has consistent 10 starters that all have winning records and can help us win any match at any time. Just want to speak briefly on some of the seniors that we recognized yesterday. Namely the 6 guys. Of those 6 guys, 3 of them were starters for us yesterday. Brad Irwin, Matt Zavostowski, and Kerry Miller, and we also recognized Damasio Samuel, who started for us yesterday as well, and Christian Beach and Garrett Church, and all 6 of those wrestlers have just been a great group. Being here at App for the last 4 to 5 years, and all of them are good students, good wrestlers, and they've just been an integral part of building the team culture and the success that we've enjoyed the last couple of years, and all those guys are going to be missed. And so I was really happy to see those guys and send them off in a great win yesterday, and having a good crowd in varsity gym. I thought it was very fitting, and we're going to miss those seniors, and really thankful for their contribution to the program over the last couple of years. Looking a little bit moving forward, these next 2 weeks are going to be very important in our preparation to the Southern Conference tournament and leading up to the NCAA tournament in Minneapolis. We're going to finish this week. We've got to finish this last training cycle, and then at the first part of next week, we'll start tapering off and making sure our guys are rested and recovered and ready to compete their best when we host the Southern Conference Championship on March 8th. Just like to encourage all our fans out there to try to make that on your schedule, make plans to attend. That'll be at the Holmes Convocation Center, and we need a lot of black and gold in the stands to try to win that conference tournament championship. And ultimately, the goal is to send all 10 of our starters to the national tournament. Currently, right now, we have 7 guys that are in the national polls in their various weight classes. And so I think we got a real shot of sending maybe a record number of guys to the NCAA tournament. And so really excited about that, looking forward to the opportunities that's going to present. And, with that, I think I'll just open up for a couple of questions.
Okay, first question. Being able to host this tournament, what does that mean to you in 2 weeks?
I mean, it's a huge advantage for our guys. We get to spend the entire week in their bed, in our normal training facilities, our normal environment, and so that we don't have to, waste any energy or time traveling to another venue. So I think that's a huge advantage, and getting our guys to be able to be at home and in their preparation. And then also, we've got a great fan following, and I'm sure a lot of them are going to turn out for the tournament on the 8th, and that's always a huge advantage for us when we compete in Boone.
And Flitz also won a big match yesterday, so how do you want to take that momentum and a dominant win going into that tournament?
Yeah, definitely. I think I definitely need to speak on Thomas Flitz and the tremendous job he did yesterday. Most people, on the national scene know what a big win that was, beating a ranked opponent from VMI. Neil Richards has been ranked as high as 13th in the country this year. I think he's a returning Southern Conference champion. He's been to the national tournament at least twice. I'm not sure, maybe 3 times. And then, more importantly, the last time he wrestled Thomas, he beat him pretty convincingly a year ago. And so I think that just shows the tremendous strides that Thomas has taken. And Thomas has, he's undefeated since the Southern Scuffle back in, early January on New Year's. And I think that's pretty impressive, the kind of run he's been on, and he's getting better every night. And, we're excited about, him going into this national or the conference tournament to try to earn a bid to the Nationals.
JohnMark, when you talked about the schedule of kind of, finish a training cycle, tapering off, just for those of us who don't know exactly, I guess that balance between rust and rest, a little bit of what that looks like in wrestling.
Yeah, so in our sport, really everything that, the culmination of the season all happens in March. That's when the Southern Conference Championship is. That's when the national tournament takes place. And everything you do all year, you try to gear your guys to being their best in March, both physically, mentally, in their preparation. And, with our last couple months in our preparation, we've actually had to train through a lot of our opponents. So we weren't really able to, train, rest, recover, and get ready for each specific opponent just because, we have so many events in January and early February that you have to train through some of those matches. But we will, as we finish this last training cycle this week, we'll actually taper our guys off, do a little bit of rest, recovery, get some soft tissue work on those guys, make sure their muscles and joints are feeling good, and they'll be at their best, tip-top shape come March 8th when we're at the Southern Conference Championship. And everything they've done this year has been really good in their preparation and leading into that.
It's just last one for me. You mentioned the 4 shutouts. That leads the country. I think number 1 Iowa and number 10 Pittsburgh are second with 3 apiece. Thomas talked about how much it meant to see John and Matt and Will before him. You kind of just see momentum build in that, where maybe in some of those performances where on paper it's a tough matchup, that just the momentum can carry forward for some of those guys.
Yeah, no doubt. In a dual meet setting, momentum is crucial. If you get started on the right in the right spot, and your guys can go out and convincingly, score a lot of points, put a lot of excitement in the venue or wherever you're wrestling, it's definitely an advantage when you roll into maybe a big individual matchup where they're wrestling a nationally ranked opponent. When their teammates, they've just watched all their teammates go out there and get big convincing wins. I definitely think that the momentum is definitely there. But again, I think you got to give a lot of credit to those guys. At the Citadel, Will Formato had to step up and beat somebody that was in the top 25 in the country in the coaches poll to secure that shutout in the last match of the evening. And then yesterday, Thomas Flitz, like I mentioned, wrestled I think he's ranked top 15, maybe depending on what poll it is. But to go out there and have to do that to secure a shutout, I think, those guys deserve a lot of credit. But I also think it speaks to the balance of our lineup. On any given day, I feel like all 10 of our guys can step up and do what needs to be done to secure a win. And I think that's, one of the things I'm very proud of about this team.